A major shakeup in the way the federal government budgets, with the finance minister announcing that Canada will permanently move its spring budget into the fall and begin splitting government spending into two branches: ongoing operating expenditures and one-off capital spends, something the Prime Minister promised during the election.
The capital budgeting framework is to provide more clarity, more transparency. It's an additional lens. It's not replacing anything. So we're going to calculate the deficit as it was presented in previous budget, the same thing with the debt.
This year's budget was already delayed to the fall after the federal Liberals said the trade war required more time to prepare a full budget. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne adds that permanently moving to a fall budget will help home builders by giving them the winter season to fully take advantage of government building incentives before breaking ground in the spring. Economist and Professor Ellen Russell says if splitting the budget into operating and capital helps people understand government spending, it's welcome, but warns
the federal budget is just so complex. It is very difficult for average people to really understand what's going on. As well, you could present it differently and still have no real improvement in how accessible it is.
Champagne also faced questions at the House of Commons Finance Committee, where he repeated that despite this split budget, there remains just one deficit, calculated the same way as before. The Conservatives wanted answers on speculation this year's deficit could be close to $100 billion, and if there is any fiscal guardrail or anchor in place.
You literally, according to the PBO, are going to have 80% higher deficits, and the economy is shrinking. So how do you square that? How do you square having higher deficits, a shrinking economy? Your deficit to GDP ratio is already double what you claimed it was supposed to be. How is it supposed to decline?
Madam Chair, I have more confidence in Canadians and the Canadian economy perhaps than my colleague. Canada has a very enviable fiscal position. When you look at the G7, Madam Chair, and I attend these meetings, I chair them. You would say that our colleagues would say that Canada has a very stable fiscal position.
The finance minister repeated that Canada has one of the lowest debt to GDP ratios in the G7. Minister Champagne tables his first federal budget on November 4th. In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.